Vanderbilt. Got a very special treat for you today. We have Michael and Lisa from the Vanderbilt University Speakers Committee for Vanderbilt's Programming Board. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you guys have someone very cool coming in speaking. Am I right?
We do. Next week, October 9th, it's a Tuesday, we have Azar Nafisi. She's the New York Times #1 best-selling author of Reading Lolita in Tehran. She was born in Tehran, and her mom was one of the first female members of parliament. Her dad was the mayor of Tehran. She then ended up studying in the UK and then came to the US and got her doctorate at University of Oklahoma in English literature and returned to Tehran in 1979, right as the Islamic Revolution started. And her whole book and story is about that experience of teaching literature in Tehran, often banned literature that the government didn't want to be taught, and ultimately she did hold a secret book club where women would come and they would read banned Western literature like The Great Gatsby. There's a great scene in the book where they put The Great Gatsby on trial. It's the Islamic Revolutionary Guard against the book. It's a wonderful book and story about the power of literature.
That's very cool. And how'd you guys come to choose her?
Well, basically the way that Speakers Committee works is it's a lot of brainstorming. So we have a committee of about 16 members, and we meet once a week, and people just throw out names. So she's one of our special interest speakers. We do Impact in the spring, which is more politically focused. But we just brainstorm, and she's been a name that we've talked about quite often. She's a great woman. She's actually a professor at the Johns Hopkins Institute in DC. So she's brilliant. She's going to be great. So yeah, it was just kind of a process of throwing out names and seeing, who was interested in coming to Vanderbilt. So yeah.
That's very interesting. Interesting that you guys kind of just get. This is like I'm imagining you guys in a room pitching ideas to one another. How early in advance do you guys actually begin that process and vetting a speaker to bring to Vanderbilt?
But yeah, it just depends kind of on. We started at the end of the spring last year. We came up with a bunch of names. I think as Nafisi was kind of mentioned, and then during the summer as we were brainstorming, we sent a lot of emails out with some other names. A lot of the people couldn't come or are too expensive, or
right.
Just a lot of different things. But we thought that she would really bring a unique perspective to campus with Iran so much in the news right now as well. To have her here is going to be exciting.
Absolutely. So does the relevance of a certain issue definitely come into play when you guys are selecting people that you bring in?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what we like to do is bring people that students are ultimately going to want to listen to. So last year we brought Michael Moore and Catherine Stockett, big thing with the help and everything. So the student interest in kind of hot topics on campus and even in politics or what's going on nationally or even in Nashville is something that we definitely take into consideration.
This is very cool. And when you actually get in touch with these people, how does that generally work? Do they generally have handlers that you speak through? Or?
It's through speaking agencies, so they're each signed and have contracts with different speakers agencies, and you just contact the speakers agency, you get a bid, you negotiate, and get a deal.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
I imagine you guys probably get to meet a lot of cool people when you do something like this.
Yeah.
How would you compare some of them? Say a Michael Moore. How is he in person?
Well, Michael's actually gone in the fall, but he was very eccentric and fun. We got to meet with him before his little speaking deal that he gave in Langford. It's just great because you really think of these people as, at least I do, as these superstars that you can't really relate to. But then you sit down and talk to them, and they're just normal people that they're really interested in talking to students, getting students' perspectives. But yeah, it's a fun. I think that's one of the coolest part of speakers, just to have very intimate one-on-one conversations with these individuals. I don't know. I think that's been probably one of the coolest parts.
Would you say it would be the most unique experience with one of the speakers that has been brought in, or perhaps one of your favorites and not unique?
Last year Wesley Clark came. General Wesley Clark came. He was out of control in terms of his personality was ridiculous. The things he was saying, I don't even know if I could say them on here. I don't know if he was talking about Hillary Clinton. He was but going further than I've ever heard anyone go. He just said whatever he wanted. It was pretty awesome. He was the funny guy. He got here and he said, John Huntsman was here, who's Mormon. He said, "I've got to talk to John Huntsman. I saw the Book of Mormon on Broadway." It was so hysterical, and we were like, "Oh my God, this is gonna be disastrous. It's gonna be awesome." And that was also cool because John Huntsman and him had so much respect for each other. They came from different sides, but they had so much respect and were so excited to be on a stage together, which was really good.
That is cool. That is cool. And just kind of a wild experience to be able to
Yeah.
say you've had with
And
these
he actually swims every morning, so we had to have the Vanderbilt gym opened early so that before his flight left he could swim. And he invited someone from the speakers committee to swim with him because he's in ROTC. And so he said, and he's a swimmer, and he came out and he was like, "Oh, you've gotta join me in the morning." So I was excited.
That's very cool. So you guys want to grab one of the naval cadets, something like that, take them out into the pool, or?
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Of
sorry.
in our speakers committee. What was the question?
What was the question?
Oh, no, I was asking who swam with him.
Oh, it was
David Waits.
David Waits.
Okay, very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. A rare experience, get to go swimming with the general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4-star dinner.
That's very, yeah, no, it's not something you do every day. That's cool. So it's just awesome all the speakers you guys are bringing in. And in addition to the upcoming engagement, you guys have a whole series coming up soon, am I right?
Yeah, so we launched last Thursday election series with the Political Science Department, the First Amendment Center, and the Center for the Study of Democratic Institutions. So last Thursday was Amy Walter, who's the ABC political director. She was on stage with John Siegenthaler, who's basically a monument in politics. I mean, he's one of those people. He has his own building named after him, and he's still alive. Like he's amazing. So they were there. Next, on October 16th, the week after Nafisi, Fred Davis is coming, and he was he was the media campaign strategist for both McCain and Bush. He did a bunch of different campaign ads for them. He also did the famous "I'm Not a Witch" for Christine O'Donnell. That was a famous political ad, and he's done a couple other the Demon Sheep.
ad. The Obama he's just a celebrity ad is his.
Yeah, so he's going to be interesting. And then that Thursday we have John Meacham coming in, and he was former editor of Newsweek. He's currently the vice president at Random House. He's a Pulitzer Prize winning author. So he's going to be on stage having a discussion with Siegenthaler, and we just really want to just kind of talking about the election right before people go out and
History.
vote.
He's written books about Andrew Jackson, and he has a new book coming out on Jefferson. So he'll speak about those and how they relate to the election. And so it's going to be awesome. We have some great people coming.
It's very cool. And you mentioned that some of those will be kind of like a discussion, almost as opposed to just a regular
So I don't know
engagement.
John Siegenthaler. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's there's the John Siegenthaler First Amendment Center. He was with the Tennessean for 43 years. He was the founding editor of the USA Today. He was even, this is the coolest part, he was the negotiator between the Alabama governor and the U.S. government during the freedom rides. So he's a pretty impressive person, and he's doing the conversations and he's moderating. He's 85 years old, and you'd think he was 60. It's pretty awesome.
That is awesome. So that's always a kind of a treat to have come up. And for these events, do you need tickets, or do you just show up at the door and see if you can grab a seat?
Well, for Azar Nafisi, which is on October 19th, you can actually get free tickets for Vanderbilt students and staff here at the Surratt box office. For anyone else out of the Vanderbilt, not in the Vanderbilt community, it's $10, and for non-Vandy students, it's $5. For the election series, it's just kind of an open forum. Whoever wants to go. There is limited seating, about 130 people can go. But yeah, you just show up at the First Amendment Center, and there's a reception and everything beforehand. For Nafisi as well, there will be a book signing the day of at the library that people should go out to. So.
Very cool.
So yeah, October 9th, 7 p.m. This SLC. It's gonna be awesome. You can show up there and we'll find a space for you.
There you go.
So,
Vanderbilt, you heard it here. Be there October 9th. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you.